Hi guys, this is me Sanchita and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm testing out some new makeup products that I recently purchased. Some of them are fairly new and some of them I've been testing out for more than a month. So without any further ado, let's get started with the video. The very first product in my list today is the Dalba First Spray Serum. Of course, internet made me buy this. It has been hyped all over the internet for giving a glassy skin. How you're supposed to use it is before you start any makeup, you spray it on your bare skin or after your moisturizer. And what I did was I patted it slightly into my skin, and as you can see, it has given me kind of a very nice glow to my face. I also use it at the end of my makeup routine when my makeup turns to matte or to powdery, even in between makeup steps. I kind of like to use this setting spray. However, I don't think that this small 50 ml bottle is worth 1000 rupees. I'm sure somebody must have found a dupe of this already. I know one from Recode and I'm willing to try that. I think that is around 550 rupees for a 100 ml bottle, and it basically does the same thing as this. So once I try that out, I'll let you guys know. But for now, I do really like this spray. I don't think this is groundbreaking because the quantity that comes for 1000 rupees is not worth it in my opinion. And it is not a setting spray, it is just a first spray serum to give a glow to your skin and also to rehydrate your skin, and it also kind of reduces the appearances of wrinkles because hydrated skin naturally looks more plump. It does make your skin feel hydrated. However, for very dry skin like mine, I do need to go with a moisturizer before this spray. This spray alone wouldn't give me the hydration that is needed. It is just for that glow. It doesn't move my makeup, which is a good thing. It has a number of oils in its formula which would otherwise move the makeup base, but this product doesn't seem to do so, so that's a pro. You can see how much I've used it. I've used it at least 5 to 6 times now, and each time I had the same experience. If you do not have anything in your collection and are willing to try the serum out, then I would definitely recommend it. However, in my opinion, it's not worth the hype. Next in my list is the strobe cream from Colors Queen. It has kind of a very lightweight texture, just like a moisturizer. It feels like nothing on the skin. It is very runny, and once it settles down, it gives you this very fine pink glow like you can see in the screen. And also you can blend it out with your fingers as well as a brush. I blended it out with a brush and it still gave me the same finish as it would give me with fingers. This is really inexpensive, and for this price range, I think this is a really nice product. This is in the shade Golden Pink, and I think it retailed for something under 200 rupees. This I apply mostly before my foundation so that my foundation looks even more glowy. Especially with the matte foundations, this pairs really well. If your foundation is too matte, you can first apply this strobe cream and then you can top it off with a matte foundation. It will kind of give you that glow from within kind of look. For a dry skin girl like me, this was not sufficient moisturization. I needed a moisturizer before I went in with the strobe cream, but this is really a nice addition in my vanity. This does feel similar to the MAC strobe cream. I have used that before. I do not have it at the moment, but it kind of feels similar to the strobe cream. It is slightly more runnier than that, but I think even with that, this kind of gives a very nice natural glow to your face. So if you're looking for an inexpensive strobe cream, this is one you can definitely try out. Next up, I have the Insight Skin Tint 5-in-1 Multifunctional Serum Foundation in the shade Cappuccino. I believe there are 8 shades in this skin tint, which is really commendable for Insight to have 8 shades. I have another skin tint from L'Oreal in the shade medium. So if you're anywhere in that shade range, you can go ahead and purchase Cappuccino from Insight. The formula is pretty much the same as L'Oreal Skin Tint. The L'Oreal one also gives a kind of like glow from within kind of look, and it also evens out all the minor imperfections on my skin. It doesn't give a full coverage, but a full coverage is not what I'm going for on a daily basis. That Skin Tint does cover all my imperfections, and so does the Insight one. I believe the Insight is a one-to-one dupe of the L'Oreal one. It blends beautifully into my skin tone. Initially it does look a bit warm while applying it, but after blending it, it kind of becomes exactly my skin tone. You do need to set this skin tint with powder, otherwise like any other skin tint or foundation, it is going to transfer. It wears beautifully throughout the day. I can show you the L'Oreal Skin Tint. This is the L'Oreal one. This is the Insight one. The Insight one is slightly more thick than the L'Oreal one. Like you can already tell the difference. This one looks a bit more neutral than this one. This one is a bit more warmer and also lighter. The L'Oreal one doesn't oxidize on my skin, and I think the Insight one oxidizes a little bit, which is why it matches my skin really nicely. So yes, if you want a good dupe of the L'Oreal one, you can definitely try out the Insight Cosmetics one. Next up is the Mars Cancel Concealer in the shade 05 Sandstone. This has got an SPF 50 with a PA4 pluses. I am not sure if that is really true. However, please do not skip out on your sunscreen. However, for the concealer in itself, it is really creamy and it blends out smoothly. It gives a skin-like finish and it doesn't crease too much. Even without setting it, I could see that it hasn't creased as much as the other concealers would. I have got a ton of concealers and this has to be one of my favorite concealers at the moment. The shade match is pretty bang on, and I think I did a good matching myself with the concealer. I use it on my under eyes to conceal after I have used my foundation, and also on the spots that need a little bit more concealing. And it blends out really nicely with a brush or even with a beauty blender. It is lighter than the skin tints that I was showing you previously, but that works really nicely for my under eye area and it cancels out the darkness that I have going on. So how I like to conceal is, first I put on a layer of skin tint and I don't go too close to my under eye area, and then I put on the concealer, which further conceals the little bit of darkening that I have under my eyes. So yeah, that works out really nicely for me. It feels very natural, exactly like skin, and it gives a very nice glowy finish. You have to set it with powder, like I keep mentioning. For skin tints or foundations or concealer, you have to set it with powder, otherwise it is going to crease, especially in the under eye areas. So please don't forget to set it with your powder. However, for the product itself, I think it's a really nice concealer, and just for under 200 rupees, I think it's a pretty good product and a pretty good concealer. Next up, I have a blush from NYX, which is the NYX Fat Cheeks Juicy Plump Blush in the shade Fig Fizz. This has a really fat doe foot applicator, which is really easy to use on your cheeks, and it kind of has a very watery texture. The shade Fig Fizz is kind of this peachish pink kind of shade, which looks really cute, and you can use this even on days when you're not wearing makeup. However, this shade I think will suit only for fair to medium skin tones. Deeper skin tones can go for a deeper shade in this range. I think they have 2, 3 or 4 more shades in this range, I'm not sure. It's not going to go much deeper. It's meant for that light flush of color on your cheeks. and it does leave a glowy finish. It also sets into your skin but still leaves that glow. It stays on my skin the entire day, it doesn't budge, and it looks really beautiful on my skin tone. It doesn't look like I've applied too much. What I like about this product is it is not very pigmented, which means I can layer it up slowly, and I can build it up as much as I want to. I kind of like to apply it on the apples of my cheek and a little bit on my nose and my chin. This has kind of a more watery texture than any normal liquid blush that I have used, and I think this is a really nice product. I do use it even without makeup and it still performs really nicely. So if you're looking for a liquid blush and if you're around the fair or medium skin tone range, then do definitely try out the NYX Fat Cheeks Juicy Plump Blush. Next up, I have a brow product, and I normally don't use brow products because I have got naturally thick brows, and anything that I use on top of it kind of makes my eyebrows look blocky. But I decided to try one out, and I got this Maybelline New York Tattoo Brow 36-hour pigment pencil in the shade Natural Brown, and it kind of gave me this natural brow situation. It has got the brow pencil at one end and it has got a spoolie on the other end, so you can kind of draw the brows and fill in the sparse areas. I've got a sparse area on my brow right here, and I really wanted a product that I could use to fill up this part of my brow, so I kind of used this pencil to fill out all the sparse areas, and then I used the spoolie to brush it out. So now it looks natural, and this is one of the brow products that I'm definitely going to be using further. The rest of the brow products that I have used are kind of too dark. However, this one is perfect in my opinion. It isn't very pigmented. Like you can see, I need to rub it a lot to get the pigmentation, which is a good thing in my opinion, because for brows you need natural strokes. Also, the spoolie kind of diffuses the product out. So this is a really nice product in my opinion, for my brows at least, and it is also very transfer proof. So once I have the product on and it kind of settles in, it doesn't budge. So yes, this is a very nice product in my opinion, and I got it for just under 300 rupees. So I think that's a good price for the product that I'm getting. This is definitely a brow product that I'm going to continue to use until I find a better one. I have never used the brow gels for the same reason that I mentioned. I have got thick brows and I want something that fills out only the sparse areas without making it feel too blocky. So yes, this is one product that I got in my vanity. I do not own any other brow products, but this one really fulfill the purpose that I was looking for. Next up are two of my favorite products from this haul. First is the Daily Life Forever 52 Dazzle Dot Glitter in the shade Champagne Shower, and second up is the Gigi Bear eyeshadow in the shade 03. The Forever 52 one is kind of a foiled eyeshadow, and this is kind of a champagne color. It has a very shiny finish on the eyes, and I got it for around 450 rupees for this single product, which I think is pretty much fine. This has kind of a very foiled look and it is pretty pigmented. I have kind of stopped applying eyeshadows because I do not want to go through the entire process of building an eye look, and then sometimes it looks good on camera, but when you are going places and somebody can see you up close, then it kind of feels powdery. So in those cases, I really like to apply such single eyeshadows. It is a one and done eyeshadow. You just apply it, pack it on your eyelids, even with your fingers or with a brush. With a finger, this performs nicely. The pigmentation shows up very nicely. It kind of looks very foiled. And also with the other eyeshadows, I have noticed they crease on my eyelids because I've kind of got hooded eyes. But these eyeshadows, they don't really crease on my eyes. it's also not very time consuming. You just need to pat it on your eyelids and be done. I didn't even put in any transition eyeshadow or anything of such. And the other one is the Gigi Bear eyeshadow. It is kind of this pink shimmer kind of an eyeshadow. I find the packaging really cute for this brand, for this Gigi Bear. It kind of has this Charlotte Tilbury look, and the shade that I have is kind of this pink mauve kind of eyeshadow. It is definitely lesser pigmented than the Forever 52 one. However, up close it looks really beautiful. It has a very nice pink shimmer. The Forever 52 one is kind of a foiled eyeshadow. However, the Gigi Bear one is kind of more on the shimmery side, if I may. It kind of has this look, if you can see, kind of this wet kind of look. And let me show you the Forever 52 one. See how shiny these two are. This is the Gigi Bear one and this is the Forever 52 one. Both of them look similar on camera. However, the Gigi Bear one is less shimmery. The Dazzle Dot, which is the Forever 52 one, is much more pigmented than the Gigi Bear one. However, the Gigi Bear one is also very beautiful. It is very subtle and it shows up like a slight shimmer foil on your eyelids. And the Forever 52 one is very dramatic foiled eye look. If you are going for a very party appropriate look, then the Forever 52 one will be really nice in my opinion. And the Gigi Bear one also just retails for 299 rupees. So for the price point, both of these are really good in my opinion. However, if I had to pick one, the Dazzle Dot one is the way to go. Next up is a mascara from L'Oreal. I do not generally buy mascaras from L'Oreal because I bought a mascara from L'Oreal long back, which was the Lash Paradise one, I think, and it was very clumpy in my opinion. I usually like Maybelline mascaras a lot, and the Stays 929 mascara has been my go-to. But this one, the L'Oreal Panorama mascara, is very different from the other L'Oreal mascaras that I have tried, and this gives kind of a volume at the base of my eyelashes. You can see how much of a difference it makes with just one coat of mascara. It kind of opens up my eyes and it gives that fluttery kind of look to my lashes. It also separates my lashes. It doesn't make them very clumpy. I don't think this is something that is a must buy. I think there are other mascaras that have this exact same formula. I find the mascaras from Maybelline really nice. They have formulated their mascaras really nicely, especially the Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift Mascara. I have used that for years and that did not cause any clumping. I have long lashes, but it kind of droops down, so I need something that kind of lifts up my eyelashes, which is what the L'Oreal one is doing. Thankfully, this is very waterproof, so I have to literally scrub it out of my eyelashes. I have to use either an oil cleanser or micellar water to cleanse it out, and that is really not something that I gravitate towards nowadays, which is why I like the Stays 929 tubing mascara. It kind of forms clumps when you put warm water and rub it out. You don't have to scrub too much and it kind of clumps and falls out by itself, which is what is the concept of tubing mascara. It is good if you do not have any mascaras and are wanting to buy a mascara from L'Oreal. This is one product that you can skip. I think there are better mascaras in the market. Then we have an eyeliner from Maybelline. This is the Maybelline New York Colossal Bold Liner, and this liner is also under 300 rupees. I find the product to be really nice. It is really matte and black. It is not waterproof, However, it doesn't come very easily off with the water, which means if it does come contact in water, it is not going to budge as soon as it touches water. It does take some scrubbing for it to come off, but in general it is not a waterproof liner. However, it is very matte and it is very black. The only downside is the applicator, the brush, the bristles in it is kind of uneven, I think, which is why the application becomes a bit difficult for me. I have to pay attention to where the eyeliner is going, which is not something that I have to do with my other liners. They are really precise. However, with this one I have to be really careful of how much product is coming out. Also, the liquid that is in there is really watery, so I have to first clean the brush before using it, otherwise too much product gets onto my eyelids. So yes, if you're looking for a good eyeliner, this is one that I'd recommend. However, it's not a must buy in my opinion. Next up, I've got a lip product from Mars, which is the Mars Matte Mousse Matte Lipstick in the shade 03 Queen. It has kind of that mousse-like formula and it glides really nicely on your lips. This color especially is really flattering for my skin tone, and I think it is going to suit a little bit deeper skin tones as well. It blurs my lip lines to a certain extent, but after some time I do see the lip lines reappearing, and it kind of becomes a little bit more prominent than it would if I do not apply lipstick, if it makes any sense. But I think that's what mousse lipsticks are supposed to do. I'm really not sure because I haven't used mousse lipsticks before. This is the first mousse lipstick in my collection. It has got a one swipe pigment. It is not transfer proof. It is going to transfer. It will not stay after you have had your meals. You have to touch up, and the formula is really nice, which allows you to touch up. It doesn't really clump or feel very heavy on your lips. It is a really lightweight formula and it is really hydrating for my lips. My lips are really dry, so a matte product to feel hydrating is a big deal. So I think this is really nicely formulated. It has this warm brown kind of color. If you're looking for a mousse lipstick, then this is something that you can definitely try out. The last product in my collection is this Glow Up Makeup Fixer from Swiss Beauty. I was looking for a glowy setting spray for a long time, and this one serves the purpose. It gives me a very nice glow to my skin. It sprays really nicely, and once it's dry, it sets my makeup in place. I did test it out on my arm. I applied some eyeshadow to my arm and then sprayed it with the setting spray, and after letting it dry for a good 2 minutes, I tried to rub the eyeshadow, and I could see that it didn't budge. I got it for under 300 rupees, and I think this is a really nice glowy setting spray in that range. It has pink shimmer particles moving around and the bottle looks really whimsical. It doesn't give any visible shimmer particles on my face, and it also doesn't feel too dry or tacky like the other setting sprays feel. So I think this is really nice for my dry skin personally, and if you are wanting to invest in a glowy setting spray, this is one which I would recommend for you. That is all the products that I had for today's video, and I think it was a pretty nice haul. I liked almost all of the products except the L'Oreal Panorama Mascara, and I'm a bit skeptical about the Dalba setting spray. I'll definitely switch once I have a dupe. I've also made a short video on it showing a wear test. So yes, these are the two products that I am not quite convinced about. However, the rest of the products were really nice in my opinion, and for the price point that they come in, I think it's worth a try. So if you liked any of the products that I have used today, don't forget to tell me about it in the comments below. And if you liked the video, please don't forget to support my channel by liking, sharing, commenting and subscribing to my channel. That is all for today's video. I'll see you in my next one.